Hey everyone, my beautiful listeners, welcome to Love Grind. Welcome back. I'm your host, Ebony, and tonight we're sitting down together to talk about something very real, breakups. We often hear about the classic stages of grief, but for those of us who struggle with love addiction and codependency, the end of a relationship isn't just sadness. It can feel like a genuine withdrawal, a full-blown crisis of identity. When our sense of self is tied to another person, the separation isn't just a loss of partner, it's a loss of a perceived purpose. I was very lost when I had my breakup, not about who I was really, but about what to do, my daily routines, sleep, right? So I understand that. Tonight we're going to walk through the 5 stages of a breakup, but we're framing them in a way that speaks to our specific struggles. This is about understanding the suckiness so we can move through it and eventually find healing. And we will, and you will. Stage 1, denial and obsession. The fix-it phase. This is where we refuse to accept the reality that the relationship is truly over. For the love addict or codependent person, this stage is intense. We become obsessed with getting them back, with fixing everything. The phrase, "I wasn't that bad," starts playing on repeat in our heads. We minimize this problem, the red flags, the pain we endured, the pain we gave out. We might find ourselves checking their social media constantly. 60% of people admit to cyber-stalking an ex after a breakup. We're looking for signs of their pain, or worse, signs of them moving on. This fuels the obsession. We believe that with the right words, the right grand gesture, we can restore the dream we built. If they've moved on, that hurts even more. You think to yourself, did I even mean anything to them? But you did, and more than likely that person was there before the breakup even happened. Statistically, individuals with love addiction might report rates of around 8 to 10% for women and 3 to 5 in men. But many estimate about 90% of the population show some codependent behaviors. So we're not alone in this desperate need to hold on to something. The core fear is abandonment, and denial is our temporary shield. We need to recognize that this is a mentally healthy response to heartbreak. In a way, the sadness, the longing, love bugs is a natural grief response. But for us, it spirals into an addictive loop. We are chasing a high we only get from that relationship. The first step in healing is to realize that this loop is keeping us stuck. Step 2, bargaining and the what ifs. This is the stage of if only and what if. If only I had been better. What if they changed their mind? We make deals with ourselves, maybe even a higher power. Like, God, please bring them back to me. We promise to change, to be less demanding, more supportive, whatever we think the other person wants. And we lose ourselves even further in the pursuit of reconciliation. This stage is fueled by the hope that we can control the outcome. Codependency thrives on this illusion of control. If we just do it right, we can stop the pain. But we can't. The only thing we have control over is ourselves. The let them theory, have you heard of it, love bugs? The let them theory is helpful here. Let them leave. Let them date others. Let them have their own journey. Releasing that desperate need to control them is a massive step. It's about accepting our powerlessness over the other person and taking our power back for ourselves. I remember talking to my ex once and he was like, "Stop trying to control me." I didn't think that I was, but looking back at it, trying to get him back and make him come back to me is a form of control. I was like, damn, he's right. So I stopped doing it. Stage 3, relapse and withdrawal. This is the emotional crash when bargaining fails. It can manifest as reaching out, sending that text we swore we wouldn't send. About 71% of people stay in touch with their exes. And in our world, this can be incredibly damaging. This stage mirrors substance withdrawal. We can experience genuine physical and psychological pain. Research suggests that romantic love can be literally addictive, affecting the same brain pathways. When that drug is gone, our bodies and our minds protest. We feel depressed, anxious, and alone. Post-breakup depression affects about 40% of people. I can see that. The pain here is real. We might feel a profound sense of a sudden loss and a lack of positive emotion. It's vital during this stage to implement strong boundaries, like no contact. It sounds harsh, but it is a form of detox. We need to cut off the supply so our nervous systems can regulate. It's not about being mean, it's about self-preservation and breaking the cycle of dependency. Sometimes that other person is the courageous one, just cutting off all communication. They're doing it to protect their peace, their psychological health, and that's okay. It might seem so mean, but it's something they have to do to protect themselves. Stage 4, anger and boundaries. Anger. This is a crucial, healthy stage that many of us in codependency and love addiction skip because we're afraid of confrontation or rejection. We stuff our feelings down to keep the peace, but anger is energy. It's a sign that our boundaries have been violated, that we violated somebody else's boundaries, that our needs weren't met. It's an empowering emotion if channeled correctly. This is where we start to reclaim our voice. We move from the I miss thems to I'm angry about how they treated me. I'm angry about how I treated them. I'm angry at myself for accepting less than I deserve. This is where self-esteem starts to build. We are creating new, healthy boundaries. We're defining our own reality instead of looking to someone else for validation. This anger is a tool. Use it to protect yourself and use it to say no more. That's so refreshing. Stage 5, acceptance and new purpose. We call that the rebirth. This is the stage we're all striving for. Acceptance doesn't mean you're happy about the breakup. It means you accept the reality of the situation. The relationship is over, and you're going to be okay. You definitely are. In fact, the long-term outcome can be a profound source of growth and positive personal development. About 60% of divorced individuals report being very satisfied with their new life after divorce. It's possible. In this stage, we shift the focus from the ex to ourselves. We start self-parenting, providing ourselves the love and security we sought from our partner. The solution to love addiction is a return to self, learning to love without losing ourselves. Remember, if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend, a family member. Listen to it if you just suffered a breakup. You are not alone by any means. The breakup journey, especially for us, is a tough grind, which is why we call the show Love Grind, all right? It's about transforming that love for others into love for ourselves, for us both, for others and ourselves. You might bounce between these stages because it's not linear, and that's okay. Be kind to yourself. Seek support, whether it's through therapy, a support group like CoDA, or just a trusted friend. You know, less than 1 in 3 people use therapeutic help post-breakup, but it is so important for lasting healing, especially if you find yourself struggling. Remember, you are enough on your own. Breaking up doesn't have to be the end. It can be the most powerful beginning to your journey back to you. All right, remember that. I hope you learned something tonight. Make all the decisions you can this week with your heart. It is the Christmas season, so don't stress out too much. It'll all be okay. All right, love bugs, and until next time, I'm out.